The arena lights burned bright, yet a strange chill filled the air. Everyone knew what was coming, a war. On one side stood Mike Alvarado, the hometown hero from Denver, known for his heart, grit, and impossible comebacks. He wasn't just a boxer, he was a survivor. Every scar told a story, every fight a battle for respect. Across from him, in the opposite corner, was a man carved out of iron, Ruslan Provodnikov, the Siberian Rocky. No smile, no emotion, just quiet menace. He didn't talk much, but his fists did, and when they spoke, people bled. As the fighters warmed up, cameras caught Alvarado's eyes, calm but haunted. He knew Provodnikov wasn't a man you beat, he was a storm you endure. The crowd roared as the bell rang for round one. Alvarado circled, light on his feet, trying to use his boxing IQ to stay out of danger. Provodnikov stalked forward, slow and relentless, like a machine programmed to destroy. Each time he swung, the air cracked, you could hear the power. Then a thundering right hand crashed into Alvarado's guard, shaking him. The crowd gasped. The Russian pressure had begun. Alvarado tried to respond with speed, countering with slick combinations, but Provodnikov didn't blink. Every punch he took, he gave back double. By the end of the round, the tone was set. This wasn't going to be a boxing match. It was going to be a war. The bell rang. Alvarado exhaled. Provodnikov just stared. He had tasted Alvarado's best shot and smiled. The storm was only beginning. Round after round, the ring turned into a battlefield. Mike Alvarado tried to stay composed, moving, countering, jabbing. But Ruslan Provodnikov wasn't chasing him, he was hunting him. Every step he took forward carried the weight of inevitability. Provodnikov's face was expressionless, a mask of cold focus. His punches sounded like explosions, thud, thud, crack. Each one pushed Alvarado closer to the ropes. The Denver crowd screamed for their man, but inside, even they could feel it, that sense of unstoppable danger moving closer with every second. Alvarado fought with courage. He landed sharp hooks, crisp uppercuts, trying to earn Ruslan's respect. For a moment, he did. Provodnikov blinked, nodded, and smiled, not out of mockery, but acknowledgement. He respected pain. He lived for it. Then came the moment everything shifted. Late in round 4, Alvarado threw a right hand that missed by inches, and Provodnikov countered with a left hook that detonated like a grenade. Alvarado's legs stiffened. The crowd rose. Provodnikov smelled blood. He pressed forward, hammering Alvarado's body and head, trapping him in the corner. Each punch echoed through the arena like thunder in a canyon. The commentators' voices cracked. He's hurt. Alvarado's hurt. But somehow, someway, Alvarado refused to fall. His body shook, but his spirit didn't. He fired back, wild, desperate, the kind of punches thrown by a man who refuses to die quietly. The bell saved him. Barely. As he staggered back to his corner, his coach's towel hovered in the air, unsure. Alvarado's face was a map of swelling and blood. Yet his eyes burned, not with fear, but with something darker. He wasn't done, not yet. Across the ring, Provodnikov sat motionless, fists on knees, staring like a predator, waiting for the signal to kill. The war was only halfway through, and the breaking point was coming. By round 6, the crowd could feel it. This wasn't just a fight anymore. It was punishment. Alvarado's face was marked, blood trickling from a cut under his eye. But his heart wouldn't let him quit. Every time he tried to find space, Provodnikov was there, constant, mechanical, merciless. Ruslan's pressure was beyond human. He didn't fight with rhythm. He fought with purpose, a relentless march forward. His punches weren't flashy, but each one meant something. A left hook crushed into the ribs. A right cross rattled the jaw. Each impact chipped away at Alvarado's resolve. Midway through the round, a brutal exchange broke out. Alvarado stood his ground, trading with fire, throwing everything he had, Hooks, uppercuts, wild counters. The crowd erupted, screaming his name. For a few seconds, it looked like Mike might turn the tide. Then, a counter right hand from Provodnikov, the kind of punch that stops time. Alvarado froze, stumbled, and somehow stayed upright. The arena gasped as Ruslan charged forward, a storm of fists and fury. Alvarado's body twisted under the assault, his gloves raised but his balance gone. The referee watched closely, seconds from stepping in. The bell rang again, saved, but just barely. Alvarado slumped into his corner. His trainer leaned close, whispering, "Mike, do you still want this?" Through swollen eyes, Alvarado nodded. "I can take it." But across the ring, Provodnikov didn't blink. He stood waiting, like a soldier who already knew how the war would end. Round 8 began like a nightmare on repeat. Alvarado tried to move, to jab, to survive, but Provodnikov was everywhere. He cut the ring in half, smothering every breath, every inch of space. Each punch from Ruslan echoed through the arena like a drumbeat of destruction. Alvarado's defense cracked under the pressure. His mouthpiece slipped, his steps slowed. Still, he fought, throwing back when logic said stop, swinging when his body begged him to rest. The commentators were stunned. This is unbelievable. Alvarado's still standing, but the punishment was mounting. A right hook split through Alvarado's guard, snapping his head sideways. Another followed. Then a crushing uppercut that lifted him off his feet. The crowd screamed. The referee looked in, eyes wide. Alvarado stumbled back, his gloves half raised, his instincts keeping him alive. But Provodnikov didn't let up. He hammered the body, left, right, left, then went upstairs with a final overhand bomb that sent Alvarado crashing to one knee. The crowd fell silent. The referee began to count. 1, 2, 3. Alvarado looked up, vision blurry, world spinning, but the fire in his eyes hadn't died. He stood up before 10. The crowd erupted again, tears and adrenaline mixing into chaos. As the round ended, Alvarado walked to his corner on autopilot. His coach grabbed his face and said the words no fighter wants to hear. "Mike, if you take one more like that, I'm stopping it." Alvarado nodded slowly, knowing deep down this was the edge of the line. Round 10. The light seemed dimmer now, the air heavier. Alvarado came out bruised, broken, but not beaten in spirit. Across from him, Provodnikov stood like a statue, calm, terrifying, unshakable. The bell rang, and Ruslan marched forward again, fists cocked, eyes empty of emotion. Alvarado swung back, defiant till the end, landing one last, clean right hand, his final message. The crowd roared. For a brief second, it looked like maybe, just maybe, the miracle could happen, but Provodnikov didn't flinch. He responded with a right hand that detonated like thunder. Alvarado's body jolted, then another, and another. The final combination was pure brutality, a left hook, right cross, and an uppercut that sent Alvarado collapsing into the ropes. The referee jumped in. It was over. The crowd rose to their feet, not just for the winner, but for the war they had witnessed. Ruslan Provodnikov lifted his gloves, breathing hard, face unmarked, while across the ring, Mike Alvarado stood on trembling legs, pride in his eyes despite the pain. There were no words, just respect. Two warriors, one winner. As the announcer called the result, the crowd chanted both names. Alvarado may have lost the fight, but he won something far greater: immortality and heart. That night in Denver, under those blinding lights, boxing wasn't just a sport. It was life, pain, and glory, all in one unforgettable war.